Will cannot hear me. Will cannot see me. Will is not paying attention to me. He opened up the link and then he started looking at something else on the internet. And now I am screaming for his attention and he can't fucking see me. Welcome to the That's Good Broncos podcast, where the co-host doesn't give a shit about the real host. The real host. Just kidding, we are both real hosts. Will cannot see or hear me. Will, hello, Will. Hi, Will. Hello, Will. Hello. Oh, he doesn't have the audio on.
I was looking at a different tab, so I wasn't in the studio yet, and I expected to hear you when you let me in.
I started recording. I recorded me yelling for your attention.
Oh, God.
Boom! Welcome to the That's Good Broncos podcast. Except we won't really be talking about the Broncos today. So welcome to a podcast that's about football. We're going to pick all the NFL games this week for week 11. Patrons, you're starting to kick our asses in the Pick'em League. So great job to all of you who understand the unpredictable NFL right now. Because I think Will and I are thinking with our brains too much about the picks. Today, maybe we try to do the opposite, Will. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it might have to do the George Costanza approach. Who do we both think
the opposite?
Pick the opposite. I think that's the only way to go in 2021.
Such a good episode. So we'll pick all the games today. There's really not any Broncos news to discuss, it's a bye week.
Should we make some? Let's just make up some news.
We will make up a couple pieces of Broncos news, and then we'll get into the picks for today's episode, which is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up at DraftKings. Take advantage of all of their offers. DNVR. And my coffee company, benchwarmerbrew.com. I sell coffee. We're going to offer some discounts next week for Black Friday. 20, maybe 30% off. Working on that right now. So buy it now and then regret that you didn't wait until next week for the discount. Is that how we do it, Will?
I think it's a great idea. You get the discount, plus you don't have to go to a physical location and possibly get trampled to death.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's all the lucrative savings of Black Friday without the peril.
Yeah.
That's what we're offering to you.
My coffee makes you pee so good in the morning. Like, drink my coffee, you're going to flush out your liver from drinking, your kidneys the night before. Best hangover brew there is.
That's why it pairs so well with whiskey.
Oh, yes.
You're in the lab designing a blend that flushes out whiskey.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
You want to get super dehydrated? Put some whiskey in your coffee.
Oh,
mix a diuretic with the diuretic.
You'll be you'll be dried up like a sponge.
Yeah. You want to look like an 80-year-old man after it's like another Seinfeld reference after he smokes all those cigars. Was it cigars or cigarettes he was smoking? And he just
cigarettes. Well, that's
he turned his apartment into the smoking lounge. That's what it was.
Oh yeah. Well, I was thinking that made me think of here's to feeling good all the time. He's smoking the cigarette and drinks the beer, wearing that sweater and sunglasses. Oh, Kramer!
Welcome to That's Good Seinfeld. Yeah,
we should have one of those.
All right, you got any Broncos news to make up, like we promised?
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater's swollen balls.
Oh, his balls swelled up?
Yeah.
What happened?
No, it's not a vaccine reaction. Don't deplatform us.
Don't deplat us.
This is just normal. Yeah, that's the only big news this week.
Big news. Teddy got swollen balls. Javonte Williams leads the league in most forced missed tackles.
That sounds like real news.
Yeah. I don't know what forced missed tackles is compared to missed tackles or broken tackles. But I definitely used that stat.
Yeah,
Here's one question.
Force someone to miss something.
Do you think the what's that?
Go ahead.
Do you think the Broncos correct anything over the bye week? Let's put it that way.
Oh man, probably not.
Still, yeah, I agree.
No, definitely not.
They're not going to do
They
anything.
play the Chargers coming up, right?
Yeah, Chargers then Lions, right?
Yeah. I'll be going to that game.
Oh, that's right. I have to invite you over to my house.
I know. I'm sorry you have to do that. It is not a coincidence that I picked the Lions game.
Yeah, that should be a winnable. God, what did happen to my...
I haven't seen a win in 6 years.
Stupid. Oh, yeah. All the games you go to are losses, right?
They have been, yeah. I've never seen the Rockies win. Haven't seen the Broncos win since that Raiders game in 2015.
Oh.
Yeah. Kind of a bummer.
All right, let's take a look at our pick'ems, and then we'll pick all the games and let you get out of here. We were bad last week, Will. Just 30 points. God. By far our worst week. Well, week 8 was 40. Not much better.
A lot of upsets.
We peaked at week 7. Yeah, a ton of upsets. We got...
How could anybody know?
I don't know. Fred Barber taking a solitary lead at number 1. Ooh. Weedham Boise. Oh, that's a funny name. Weedham Boise. Black Nova Scotian, a.k.a. Travis Moody, in a 4-way tie with Marco Palomo, Billy Bob Joe, and that's it. 3-way tie. 3-way tie.
It is a tight race at the top. Yeah. It is not a tight race where we are.
We're down in 40th place.
But it is still a race nonetheless.
Look at us. We're here with Valentin Schroeder.
Good God.
82-67. A little bit better than these guys. We're better than all of you.
Yeah, things are bad when you're down there with Dylan Kennedy, CJ DiVincenzo, Sean Patrick, Devin Bond, Connor Kennedy. Wow. Then things are really bad.
Then it's bad.
Yeah.
We want to be up here with Sean Parker.
Yep, Napster.
Yep. And Mike Baum. Mike Baum. All right. So those are your pick'em standings. Go back, Internet. Let's make our picks. Okay, week 11. Here we are, Will. Thursday night football. The Patriots received my curse from the Wheel of Pain, which has been undefeated. But I think the Wheel of Pain might be poised to take a loss on Thursday night football. The Patriots do have to go to Atlanta. 10% of the people are taking the Falcons, who are 4-5. The Patriots are trending up. Their defense getting better, seems like, every week. Mac Jones getting just a little more steady every week. They've got 2 running backs now. Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris once he gets healthy. So you like what they can do in the run game.
Sure.
The Falcons, every time you're like, oh, maybe they're figuring things out. The following game, they just tank. And that happened this last week. They're good, and then being maybe the worst looking team the week after.
Yeah, they are, to use another Seinfeld reference, the Bizarro Broncos. They're the NFC Broncos.
They are. They truly are.
They looked, I don't want to say they're great against the Saints, but they pulled out a really tough win at the end after blowing the lead. And then they just got demolished by the Cowboys.
Yeah. Wasn't even respectable. Like,
not even close.
They could have lost that game, but kept it close, and I would still feel okay about the Falcons. But just the way they lost to the Cowboys the way the Cowboys lost to the Broncos.
It was totally demoralizing. Yeah, and it just makes you think, like, what's going to get this team over the hump? I don't know. They are not a consistent team whatsoever, and you think they should be a little more consistent given who they have at quarterback, but The run game's just not there. Like, it's Cordero Patterson and Mike Davis is having a tough season. Plus, I don't know. I guess they miss Calvin Ridley a lot on offense.
Yeah. You need him to help draw coverage away from your rookie, Kyle Pitts, I think.
Right.
Russell Gage is their number one receiver without Ridley there, essentially, right?
Yeah, you go from Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley to Russell Gage and Olamide Zacchaeus at wide receiver.
Zacchaeus.
No, we're not doing
so we're gonna take
references.
Yeah. We're just gonna reference as many TV shows as we can through these pick'ems. Patriots, even with the curse?
Even with the curse.
Cool.
So the Mac Jones discourse has been quite interesting. Quite interesting.
Yeah. I talked a little bit about it today on GPS. Tyrann Mathieu calling the whole world out for not being super hyped on Mac Jones. I was like, where was Tyrann Mathieu's Mac Jones takes during the draft? I don't remember Tyrann Mathieu being a pro Mac Jones guy. He's played one really good game, Mac Jones, which was last week. Other than that, he's just been solid for a rookie, and he's in the best situation of any rookie.
Correct. And that is what we've learned, I think, from this draft. If you didn't already know, but situation is like 60% of the battle, if not more.
Oh my God.
For quarterback success. And solid compared to the rest of this rookie class is really, really, really good.
He makes good throws. He's not turning the ball over. He's relying on a nice running game. And the defense is taking the ball away from opponents. It's allowing opponents to not score. So he's in a great situation, just like Tom. It is almost identical. The way they play is underwhelming, but it's good. He's got a chance to grow and develop into a very good quarterback there. To me, he feels maybe a little bit more like Drew Brees than Tom Brady to me, the way he kind of throws, but maybe he's got a slightly weaker arm than Drew Brees, but I don't know.
I would say he has a weaker arm than Drew Brees. He's always kind of looked like Kyle Orton to me in a good way. Without the
elite Kyle Orton
sacks. Elite Orton. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a knock on Mac Jones. It's just people are J-O-ing all over him.
Yeah, so maybe look good. All I'm saying is, next draft, maybe, don't rule someone out because of their mobility or lack thereof. I don't know.
Yeah, Carson Strong. Are we talking Carson Strong?
Just talking about anybody. Just in general.
I'll be fine if he goes to Denver. Okay, Colts at Bills.
More than fine.
Wow. 91% of the people back on the Bills bandwagon.
Seems a little high.
Seems a little high for a Colts team that just beat the Jags, who the Bills could not beat. Bills defense is better than the Colts. Josh Allen is better than Carson Wentz. Bills have more receiving weapons than the Colts, but the Colts have the big advantage at running back. My question about the Colts, can they play a full game? Even that last week to Jags, they dominated the first quarter, and then they kind of let the Jaguars hang around, and they eventually won because that first quarter was so good. I don't trust teams that dominate a quarter like that. Like, Jonathan Taylor had 93 rushing yards at the end of the first quarter, and he finished with like 120, 26 on the day. I do not like he. And Carson Wentz tried to throw a horrible interception. He just got lucky that he didn't.
I don't think he's going to get lucky against the Bills. No, I think the Bills win this one at home. Yeah, this is a rematch of the wild card game a year ago. It was a pretty good game, actually. It
was a great game, but the Colts had old Philly Rivers.
Yeah, God, I want Phillip Rivers to come back and play for the Saints really badly.
Oh, God, yes.
He was talking about that on the Manning Cast. One last note, though. The Colts Hard Knocks starts tonight.
That's right. tonight.
So we're gonna have to watch
Wednesdays instead of Tuesdays, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Jess loves that show, so I'll try to watch that tonight.
Yeah, it
Even
looks
though
good.
it's like-
Now the Colts are, in the hunt.
Yeah, as long as they stay relevant, that should be great.
Mhm.
Depending on how they put it together. Okay. Ravens coming off a bad loss to the Dolphins. Going against the Bears coming off a bye week. Justin Fields versus Lamar Jackson. Derek Wolfe not going to play this year for the Ravens. Injury, whatever the hell's going on with Derek Wolfe. Not going to make it out there, which sucks. Big Derek Wolfe fans here. Hope he gets healthy, gets right. Maybe we can get him on the show. Feels like a game the Ravens should win after a bad loss.
A game they will win.
All right. 92%. Let's make it 92.1. Justin Fields. Here's a question.
Yes.
Who do you think looks better this week? Mac Jones on a short week against a bad Falcons defense. Justin Fields coming off a bye, getting also kind of a questionable defense. I feel like Justin Fields is going to look better than Mac Jones this week, just because everybody's really high on Mac Jones right now.
I think everybody's really high on Justin Fields, though, too, for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's been Mac Jones. I don't know, just like take a glance at Justin Fields' stats. I know like play calling hasn't been great, but it's not even close. Mac Jones has been so much better. And for some reason, like, you're just not allowed to say that.
Oh, Will, guess what time it is?
It is, hold on, 10:50 Pacific Standard Time.
That is correct, which is the perfect time to remind you this episode is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. Legal disclaimer. Now, NFL fans, are you hungry? Are you ready to score some free bets? Well, now you can when you bet on any NFL game this week with DraftKings Sportsbook, which, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers who bet just $1 on either team to score can win $100 in free bets. When a team scores, you score. DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also get skin in the game. Hello, Clarice. With new same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. I'd like to eat her with some fava beans and a sweet bottle of Chianti. Wait, but I was trying to do the Dumb and Dumber version.
Oh, let's just start doing the Brian Cox Manhunter version.
Okay.
That's a good one. People should check that one
DraftKings
out.
is safe, secure, reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. Sign up, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR. Bet $1 on either team to score and win $100 in free bets. If they score, you score with promo code DNVR. This week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Got to be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. Okay, Lions. Wow. Lions at Browns. Only 8% of the people believe the Lions can get a win. They're good enough to tie the Steelers, but not good enough to beat the Browns, who just kind of looked really bad. Got Baker really, really beat up. They should get Nick Chubb back, though. Obviously, that's huge. But is Case Keenum going to start?
I would imagine so. I mean, it feels like the right game to do that. This is like the perfectly timed Lions game on the schedule for the Browns, who need it desperately to get back over 500. I don't know. I think I'm kind of out on the Browns after last week. I don't think, I don't think Odell was really a factor either way.
No, the Browns, their defense has been a little underwhelming, but their offense
Really
is not support.
Really
but they're not getting like consistent support from the offense. For as well as they can run the ball, they should be winning games more decisively. Baker's knee is injured. He's considered day-to-day in addition to his shoulder. It's like, just rule him out for the week. Like,
right.
Make the man rest. Case Keenum's a very serviceable backup. I'm out on the Browns, but are we out on the Browns against the Lions?
I don't know. It feels like a game they could win just because, they put something together against the Steelers, and it doesn't look like Jared Goff is going to play. It might be Tim
he's
Boyle.
not. It's the Boyle show this week.
Can we just pick the Lions?
Fuck it.
Let's do it.
There you go, Detroit. Although I'm rooting for – I want nothing more than to see the Lions go 0-16-1. But all right.
God, how embarrassing is it going to be if that's if they beat us for their one win?
Oh, that'll sting. That'll be a low. All right. Titans, Texans, 99% picking the Titans. Gonna go ahead and agree.
I will agree. I will say the one thing about the Titans is I don't know how sustainable their formula is right now, because they're just not getting a ton on offense. They're not running the ball well without Derrick Henry. They're not Tannehill's not lighting it up necessarily, and their defense is playing well. That's really the one thing, but they need Julio Jones to come back and give his offense a spark or something.
Yeah, he's on IR. I mean, they just have too many injuries, but they do have the easiest schedule moving forward.
And Derrick Henry he should be back for the playoffs too. So it's just a matter of treading water, which I think they totally do.
They get the Texans twice. That helps. And the AFC is so muddled down right now. They can lose 2 or 3 games and feasibly still win the AFC. So
yeah. I mean, they're beating the Colts twice. That's basically, you've almost guaranteed yourself a home playoff game at least.
Yeah.
And the bye is not out of the question.
All right. Packers, Vikings. Vikings just upset the Chargers, I guess. They're talking about Kirk Cousins a lot today on the radio, about how his stats are so good, but the Vikings still just aren't winning. And that's kind of been true since he's been in Minnesota, but I think once their defense kind of nosedived last year, it looked a lot worse when their defense was better. Kirk Cousins, I think, is a good quarterback if you have a top 10 defense. He's perfect. But clutch moments, if you got to get out of a deficit late, he's just not the guy. And the narrative about him, the clutch shit, it's just looking more and more true the longer he plays.
Yeah, it's always been true. It's not just clutch, it's just marquee games too.
Yeah.
Not just prime time, but really games that matter. He doesn't quite show up. That said,
unless they're playing the Saints.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. For some reason.
Because the Vikings defense has gotten better this season, played better than people expected. They have a run game. They've got some elite ball catchers. They should be 6-3 at worst.
They could be easily. I still don't really. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in them. I'm not going to pick against the Packers. Are you?
No, I'm going to take the Packers.
Sounds good.
I put Packers number 1 in my power rankings. How dare I go against them?
Can't do that.
Look at this. 24% of the people believe the Jets can beat the Dolphins.
Joe Flacco.
You got Flacco versus Tua? Fractured finger Tua?
Yeah, I mean, a weird game last week, but the Dolphins are riding a 2-game win streak. I think the narrative is coming out that Tua is succeeding when he does succeed in spite of the Dolphins. They have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. He's got good chemistry, I think, with Gesicki and Waddle to some extent. But yeah, I like Tua. I like Tua a lot. I think if you switched, for instance, the Patriots any worse if you put Tua on their team instead of Mac Jones?
Oh, no. I think that's a good swap
I think
out.
they're still like 6-4.
Like, I think Tua maybe has a little more arm talent than Mac Jones, but in terms of the way they play and what made Tua succeed last year, even though some people don't look at what he did as a success, even though he had a winning record, it's just not make mistakes. Take what's there for you. And now he's starting to get a little more comfortable. Like you said, developing chemistry with some of his ball catchers. Mike Gesicki, I don't think has any drops this season. And Waddle looks pretty good. Here's what I'm going to say, though. I think we both believe the Dolphins are trending towards being a better team than the Jets, which means the Jets are going to win this game.
That's sound logic.
And Joe Flacco are going to win this game because the Dolphins should.
Yeah, Joe Flacco is wearing number 19, which is just feels cursed. Feels weird. It's just it kind of matches the whole aesthetic of this season in that nothing makes sense. So yeah, go with the Jets.
We're gonna pick the Jets. All right. Saints, Eagles.
Ooh.
Oh man. Look at
God,
this.
the Eagles were good last week.
What's that?
God damn, the Eagles were really, really good last week.
Yeah.
You gotta hand it to them.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts.
They have an identity. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to play like he did in that first half again. And you could see like he cooled off in the second half. But
yeah,
if they can run the ball anywhere like they did a week ago, they've got a pretty sound identity.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to run against the Saints like that. The Saints defense is too good.
This does feel like a little bit of a classic letdown for a 4-6 team.
Yeah,
I think the Saints bounce back.
Boom. We agree. All right. Yeah, Jalen Hurts made 3 really good throws, and he also made one really bad throw that was picked and another bad throw that should have been picked. But that's a young QB. I still like Hurts. Okay, football team versus the Panthers. Wow, talk about two teams I can't figure out.
So it's Cam against Ron Rivera.
Yeah, and Heineke. And Heineke was with the Panthers before he followed Rivera to Washington. So
it's a circle of life.
The Christian McCaffrey coming back for the Panthers is huge.
Gigantic.
They're probably going to start Cam this week. Mm-hmm. But I kind of like the way they used him last week.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
with PJ Walker, I think by inserting Cam in certain situations, it forces the defense to kind of guess. And if he's in there the whole game, they kind of start to, figure out tendencies and get a read. But I don't know. Taylor Heineke.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just saying, what? Taylor Heineke, to me, at some points, looks like a top 10 QB, and at other points, looks like a bottom 5 QB, all in the same game.
Yeah, I see where you're getting at. That DeAndre Carter throw was as good as you'll see this season.
He does it like once a game too. He makes just an incredible throw,
and he's fast.
He reminds me of Alex Smith, where you forget all of a sudden he can crank out like a 20-yard run for a first down. He's just not consistent through the course of a game. Like, he's streaky. Like, sometimes you talk about a streaky quarterback, and you could say like Matt Stafford maybe right now, where he'll go off for like 4 or 5 straight games where he looks phenomenal, and he's on a 2-2 game. He'll have like 3 or 4 series. You're like, oh shit, this guy's great. And then like, oh my God, he might lose him the game. That said, Washington put up a 10-minute, 26-second drive against Tampa Bay, like Carolina, very good defense, to close out that game. That was their most impressive drive of the season. So the football team still sucks in the red zone, though. They are not a good offense consistently, and they should be with Terry McLaurin, with both their running backs, Gibson and McKissick. and a QB that can run. Like, they should be a juggernaut in the red zone, but I don't know.
They still feel like they lose Chase Young, which probably not as big of a factor as you would have thought going into this season.
No,
sadly,
he hasn't done a lot.
It does feel like this team is, I hate to say it about Ron Rivera, but the right head coach away from competing. And probably, a quarterback too, but the right head coach.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of talent. They got some good talent. You probably add a couple offensive linemen and you're set.
That's all they got to do, build that trench on the offensive side. Who are you going to take in this game, though?
Jeez, this is tough. I think I'm going to take the Panthers, though.
Yeah. That means Washington will win. All right. Yeah. Niners, Jags. 7% of the people say Jacksonville. 93.
I don't think the 49ers are going to throw the ball in this game. I think they can just run it 62 times.
We'll take the Niners. I think they'll throw a little bit. I think
for fun.
Getting George Kittle worked back in. I think Deebo Samuel was really, really good. But yeah, their formula for winning is running the ball a lot, keeping that defense fresh, and letting Nick Bosa get to QBs.
I mean, it kind of reminded me, that game, how fun the 2019 49ers were to watch.
Yeah.
Just like a well-executed run game and bootlegs and George Kittle. Yeah. Very, very pleasing to the eye.
The Rams, to me, reminded me so much of what we've watched with the Broncos, where because I think Stafford's a really good quarterback. I think there's too much of an overreaction to him not playing well the last 2 weeks. Yeah. And he did not have a good game against San Francisco. But he also, I think there were 5 or 6 drop passes in that game by his receivers. Van Jefferson, I think, dropped 2. Cooper Kupp dropped 1 or 2. Higbee dropped, how many times have we seen it, Will, where you're not getting great play from your quarterback, and then you're also not getting any help from your skill position players who we know are good for the Rams. They should be great for the Broncos. When your QB struggles a little bit, good teams, really, truly good teams, those other guys step up to bail their quarterbacks out in those situations. I think Robert Woods not being available really hurt him. He is like that just so friggin' reliable. Not there. Usually Cooper Kupp's that guy too, but a couple drops. They're not huge, but they affected. I don't think the Rams would have won, but it could have been a close game had some of those guys stepped up. So,
yeah, I mean, one of the drops led directly to a 49ers touchdown.
Yeah. So
it was pick 6. So one of them was I hesitate to call it a drop, but Skoranek in the end zone probably could have caught a touchdown there. Yeah, I mean, as far as the 49ers are concerned, I feel like they are rounding into shape. They know what they want to do on offense, which is run the ball 60% of the time.
Yeah, just do it.
Do it against Jacksonville.
They've just had so many injuries on and off to all their running backs this year. It's been
Elijah Mitchell too.
Yeah, he just got hurt again. Or hurt. He was
fractured his finger.
He was the dude. Now he's injured. All right.
They'll find someone. They always do.
Yeah. To me, this game is easy. I take the Bengals, and I don't even think about it.
I don't think twice about it.
I think we're witnessing the first rung of their downward spiral for the season.
First rung.
Yeah, since you're coming off a bye too. What I want from the Bengals-Raiders game is for Jamar Chase to have 2 touchdowns and 160 yards, because I want somebody other than Mac Jones to win Rookie of the Year. And it's not a knock on Mac Jones, but I want a non-QB to win Rookie of the Year. All right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Ooh.
I think you will.
Look at this game. We're going to find out who's real in this game, Will. Oh, we're going to find out who's real. Cowboys at Chiefs. 47% of the people taking Dallas to 53 with the Chiefs. That's interesting because I think this is a good matchup in the Cowboys' favor.
I do too. Yeah, no, what did the Chiefs do that worked on Sunday night? They just threw the ball at Jonathan Abram. There's not like a Jonathan Abram on the Cowboys, as far as I know.
No.
And they have the passing offense to exploit the Chiefs secondary.
Yeah.
They can do it on the ground as much as they want to. And yeah, no, I like the Cowboys here.
I do too. Not just because I hate the Chiefs, obviously, but I think the matchup favors Dallas. There's too many weapons to cover. The whole season, the Chiefs have struggled on defense. That I think is going to get exploited a little bit by Dallas, unless Dallas's weird weakness is just the AFC West or some shit this year. And there were some dropped interceptions by the Raiders last week. And if we know anything about Trayvon Diggs, he don't drop interceptions. He don't drop picks. All right. Feels kind of dirty feeling so confident that the Cowboys will beat. Like, these are two teams I like to see lose, but I want to see the Cowboys just wreck the Chiefs. All right. I might have to stream that game if I have it. We'll see. Okay. Cardinals, Seahawks, Arizona, 79% taking AZ over Seattle, who should have Russell Wilson back. They got him back last week, but that wasn't Russell Wilson.
He wasn't back.
That was Russell Wilson returning too soon from a finger injury.
That was Geno Smith wearing a number 3 jersey.
Yeah. So I'm assuming Kyler Murray will be back this week for the Cardinals if people are that confident in them.
I kind of want to pick the Seahawks.
Let's fucking take the Seahawks.
I don't know why.
Probably because neither one of us are sold on Arizona.
Yeah,
I want to be.
It makes sense because they were playing Colt McCoy and Chris Streveler last week.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It was a tough look losing that badly to the Panthers at home.
Yeah, and credit Seattle, who really kept Green Bay at bay. Oh wow, kept Green Bay at bay, and if they can do that and get production from their offense, which they normally do with Russell Wilson, then they have a chance. All right. Ooh, wow. Okay, Steelers 17% picked to the Chargers 83 at home, which will be a home game for the Steelers. If anybody's going to wreck a home Chargers game, it's going to be Steelers fans.
Here's the thing. Everybody says like the Steelers fans travel really well. That's just not true. It's just Steelers fans live everywhere. Yeah, there's Steelers fans wherever you go. There's no traveling involved, other than like getting on the 405. Yeah, I think I like the Steelers to bounce back.
Wow.
What about you?
Is Roethlisberger? He should be back, right?
I think so.
Through the COVID. I mean, these teams are the same. They're exactly the same. The difference is the Chargers have their quarterback of the future, but they're the Chargers. And Phillip Rivers was the quarterback of the future, and they figured out ways to lose. And it doesn't matter what head coach they put in there. Doesn't matter that the Chargers are actually healthy. Chargers gonna charge every year. And Steelers, I think we saw that even though Ben Roethlisberger is washed, he's still much more efficient than Mason Rudolph. He brings something to the game that Mason doesn't have yet. I think the Chargers are going to win this game, but I'll roll with the Steelers because who gives a shit? Oh,
here's a horrible game to end the week.
Look at this. Giants, because the NFC got to get their prime time games versus Tampa Bay. 97% of the people taking Tampa Bay, even though Tampa Bay couldn't beat the football team, who was equally as good as the Giants. And don't forget, the Giants played the Buccaneers very closely last season.
That they did. That is true. Do you think the Giants move on from Daniel Jones, or they give him another year?
I don't know.
Kind of tempted to say that they give him a 4th year.
I guess it depends on who they like this year. It can't hurt to draft your guy, but it also can't hurt to draft and improve like your offensive line. I think the Buccaneers win this game. I'm going to pick the Bucs. One caveat is Dan Jones. Saquon Barkley's coming back to practice this week. I don't know who's going to play. The Buccaneers kind of have a tough time on defense with mobile quarterbacks. So if you're a team that just runs straight at the defense, the Bucs can shut you down. But if your QB can make plays in the run game, I feel like it's been kind of an issue for them. So I think Daniel Jones has to have a big rushing day to beat the Bucs. But I'll take Tampa. I feel like Tampa's gonna win this game decisively because they lost last week.
Yeah, that feels like a very Brady Tampa thing to do.
Yeah. And they might get AB back, which their offense needs, because, Tom Brady can't win with just Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and Cameron Brate and Leonard Fournette and a really good offensive line.
Oh.
Cool.
I feel good. I feel good about these picks.
15 out of 15 picks. Yeah. What if we got them all right? Wow, that'll be something.
Has anyone nailed it this year? I think one guy did, right?
Yeah. I think maybe that first week or two, a couple people hit on all the games. So
it feels like it would be the hardest to do it that early, but the league just gets weirder and weirder every week.
Yes, it does. Okay, great episode today, Will.
Yeah, no, we just coming back from the future to say that we were 100% on our picks.
We're going to get them all right. Good night.
John Elway played his entire career with one ACL.
Good luck.